Not a very good way to start a video. Welcome to Positively Aunt Chrissy. I'm Aunt Chrissy. I've just woken up 10ish. Daphne snoring next to me, but for some reason she's quite desperate because she's gotten in the crook of my arm. And then this is the Punamycin. I don't know what her deal is. She's not been eating all of her food. I suspect it's because she takes medication with her food, and my husband would just put the pill in with her food, and I think she might have chomped down on it, and now she thinks that the food is the devil. But like, she'll eat maybe the chicken out of it. Those of you that don't know, I cook my food for my dogs, and I say dogs, it was dog now because we lost one in November. But she's got a heart problem, Madeline does. Her heart's not in the right spot. The rib cage, when it comes together normally in dogs, if you look at them on the side profile, kind of come to these kidney bean looking ovals. Well, in the middle of it, where a heart would be, hers curls in and up. Think of like what a Roman pillar looks like when they're doing the plaster work. It just kind of twirls inward. So hers is kind of concaved a little bit, which has moved her heart into the not the right spot. So she's on medication for that, and I don't know if it's the medication doing this. It could be a delayed reaction to Madeline passing away, because she didn't seem to be phased when Madeline passed away. And when that was going down, she was having health issues then. I think they were sympathetic, because you know how they say that usually dogs can sense other dogs' problems. And she was having what I refer to as fainting goat episodes, where she'd get really huffy and just real excited, like if we come in from outside and not, like went to the store and came back, and all of a sudden, as she's, so excited to see everybody, she falls over like a fainting goat. And sometimes she'd go into I guess they call it an atrophy type thing, where her back would start arching, and, she's just kind of yelping, but she's out of it. And she was having those almost every day, if not every other day. And then Madeline passed away, and I think she had 2 that week. And then she didn't have any for like 2 or 3 months, and then had 2 not long ago, and had 1 a couple of days ago. And that was just excitement. I put her harness on for her to go for a walk with the bearded one and I, and she followed me upstairs because I had to do something in my room before I went back down, and the energy it took to come upstairs and go back down, she passed out on my bed. So she's been stuck to me like glue. Poor little mama. I don't know if she's feeling my energy, which I have none. And it's really sad for a channel where I want to spread positivity. And I will tell you, since I haven't put out a video since my birthday, that I haven't been feeling it. I feel like, for those of you that might be remembering 80s to 90s video games, which I wasn't a big fan, or never been a big fan, but I know what it looks like in Mortal Kombat before they put you in play, and you're just kind of waiting around, flitting back and forth. I feel like I am just in a perpetual state of flitting back and forth, constantly just moving and grooving. There have been a few days that have been good where I will get up, wash, blow dry, curl my hair, do some stuff, but that's few and far between. And another thing could be the falling off the keto wagon. It makes you feel like crap, which I need to get back on the wagon. I am a hardcore sugar addict. Like, got a drawer that I would normally have kept stuff in, away from everybody. Not sneaking, just I don't want anybody to get into my crap. That's mine. And that's not good either. I used to see a therapist. I did for 2 years. It was over a couple of specific issues. And with the pandemic, I haven't seen him, and I should probably get back to that. I don't feel like I'm a mess by any means. I just feel in flux. I feel not quite what we should be doing, whether it's work or life, or I feel like there's something on the horizon. I felt like that ever since I was younger. Every house I ever had after leaving my parents' house, from when I got married the first time and divorced and got married and I had my own place and then got married again. I don't really put a lot of stuff on walls and things like that. And it could be because I was an army brat. My dad got transferred to DuPont when I was 12 years old, so it's not an army brat thing. Where you going, baby? It's all right. Turn around. It's okay. What you doing? But my dad got transferred when I was 12 to DuPont here in Richmond, Virginia. And I've been, when I was a teenager, I would put stuff on my walls, normal teen stuff. Duran Duran was my shit back in the day. But when I became an adult, it's just, I don't know what I thought. I don't know why my brain, it's all right. I don't know why my brain can't seem to figure out that I can nest and this is it. And I remember talking to my therapist about it, and he was just like, just start putting shit on the wall. So this is my bedroom that I'm in, and I'm not the neatest person in the world, so don't critique. But I did about 6 months ago start putting things on the wall. So this is his side of the bed, and I put Better Together. And over there is a thing that has our names and the meanings behind it. And on the other wall, in the mirror, there is some other stuff. And then I Love You Always, a thing I did at a paint class, an etching he did in a tree in Washington State when he was doing disc golf. And one of the things we say to each other is, I love you more. So it felt good to be able to do that. All those bags in the corner, BT Dubs, has to do with Christmas. I Christmas shop way ahead of time when I get deals and put them in reusable bags and set them in the corner. So when Christmas shows up, all I have to do is figure out whose is what, wrap it, and we're pretty much done. So yeah, I apologize for being radio silent for almost a month. What's today, the 4th? I think it's my grandma's birthday, but she would have been 102 today. Been suffering migraines, which do with worry, usually. I'm not worried about money. The refi came through last week. We got the disbursement check and put it straight into a money market. So the money's there for when he's ready to pull the trigger on wanting to put a down payment on a piece of land. I think he wants to sit on it for a little while just to give himself plenty of time to decide whether he wants to, or when or where he thinks, because of the pandemic, that we should be able to get more acreage for the money. Somebody might need cash and sell their land pretty quickly or whatever, so we're just going to hold tight for a little while. I think we need to do more punch list stuff around the house here so that when we decide to be able to sell this, all they have to do is put it on the market. We don't have to worry about fixing anything. But yeah, like right now, even I have a small headache. I'm trying to hydrate. I did in my first cup of coffee too, but trying to get back on the bandwagon so I don't feel like a total piece of crap, which is what the internal thing is. As far as our state is concerned, our governor is going to be doing a press conference today. Those of you that don't know, I'm a hairstylist. You can probably tell by that tattoo right there. But I'm a hairstylist, have been since I was 18 years old, and I'm 49 now, so you can do the math on that. I'm a classically trained stylist. I don't really do a lot of the rainbow hair stuff, only because I can't get it to stay for long periods of time on clients. And it usually has to do with, you wash your hair in hot water, to get it clean, but hot water opens the cuticle and pulls all that color out. So that's a little PSA for people, even if you're doing at-home color, that wash it in cold water. Don't wash it in hot water. The colder, the better, because cold water constricts or closes your cuticle, and hot water opens your cuticle, no different than your pores. Cold water closes your pores, hot water opens your pores. So, a little tip, PSA. But I want to apologize to all of you for going radio silent. I really do like doing this channel. I really do enjoy talking and being able to say the things I want to say to help try to spread as much joy as I possibly can in the world. But what I find is I'm not very good at not having a routine. And this is the first time I've been through a pandemic, so I've always had some level of a routine. I tried to maintain a routine, getting up at the same time, actually getting ready and doing stuff, and then it's almost like a crash after that because you don't got a lot to do, and there's not really. I mean, I've done some things. We made some hand sanitizer and passed it out to people in the family, and it wasn't a lot, but each one of the kids for Easter got a bottle, and then the lady that came to do our notary stuff to do the refi, she walked out with a bottle. I've gotten toilet paper for the children who couldn't find it. Seems to be for the one thing my takeaway was every time I went to the store, I picked up a couple more cans of beans. And because Daphne's food is half rice, half chicken, I bought, a 20-pound bag of bismahi rice. So we have a lot of rice if we need to do rice and beans because of all these meat packing plants having to go down. But, it seemed like the first 2 weeks was vacation because it's like, oh gosh, I don't have to do anything. It's a reprieve. I can do whatever I want. Like, I wanted to paint the steps, and David painted the ceiling a couple weeks ago, and there's so many things I wanted to do, and getting to the point to actually doing them, the level of just depression and self-loathing and all the things that you go through, just weighed down, And I really, really am not normally that person. I'm very upbeat. I'm very positive. I'm here for you because, again, part of being a hairstylist is also being someone's, pseudo-therapist. And, I dole out the advice. And I know what my gig is. I know what I have to do. It's just getting myself to do it. I got to get back to that routine. Oh, excuse me. I've taken a couple of classes online via the beauty industry just to get certified in sanitization and sterilization to prove to the clients when they come that I've, done the shop top to bottom. And I got a face shield, which wasn't very pretty. It's kind of a Tiffany Robin's Egg type blue, but I bedazzled it yesterday. So, I figured, okay, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it on my terms. Because I don't know, all we had was the Georgia guidelines, really, and I really don't know what's going to be required. If it's going to be just a face mask or I have to have a shield and a face mask. I do have 2 boxes of gloves that I should be fine with, and extra masks if the clients need them, and then sanitizing in between each one of the clients. So that's, again, Georgia's guidelines. I just don't know if every state's going to adopt them because Georgia was the first state to open for this. So, yeah, I just want to come on and apologize. Normally I'm chipper, and I'm just really not right now. I'm not anything. I'm benign, everything. Again, I just feel like I'm waiting to be put in, coach, all you gotta do. The coach seems to be the governor, and I just want to, tell me when I can work. So we should know by 2 o'clock today what he says and what the deal is. I honestly think since we haven't seen 14 days of decreased cases consistently that I don't think he's going to open on Friday, which is what the projected thing was, is that he would open on Friday. So I don't know. But I want to thank you for always watching the videos and being as supportive and helpful and all that as possible. And I hope to get back to myself. We all have these days, unfortunately my days are running together enough to where, like a couple of weeks ago, I remember I didn't even know what day it was. There's just, it's hard. I am mourning and missing my children. I have one that lives here now. Officially this past weekend we moved him home from Northern Virginia, but I was able to spend time with my granddaughter last week because my daughter is pregnant and had a severe migraine and couldn't handle taking care of the baby because she was like throwing up, physically sick. So, mommy's the rescue, which was wonderful. And I was, you can't social distance when you do that because it's the baby. I have to change her diaper and all that. But I still was very hands off with a lot of stuff because I don't want to, we're all trying to social distance, but emergencies call for that kind of help. And I had to help her. So, yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of you are feeling probably the same way. I see a lot of people doing really well, actually, and especially the homesteading people. I've been watching Rory Feek, and his Life is This Life I Live, which is really good, about him and Indy after Joey passed away. I was watching that last night up to the last two episodes were about the pandemic, or he's in the middle of the pandemic and what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. But my heart goes out to that guy. And as, I'm sitting here last night watching it, laying next to my husband who's snoring, I'm very, very grateful that he's got a great job, my husband, and is able to bring money in. And I, honest to God, don't have to work at this point because of what's going on and having to do the refi. And when we got our stimulus money, I paid off my car. So I was really smart about trying to get rid of monthly bills so that, depending on how long this is going to go. But I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have that luxury, including some of my kids. I have two of them that are laid off right now, and one that was able to work. Well, actually, it's my youngest son and his girlfriend are both laid off. But they, picked themselves up by their bootstraps because the girlfriend has a child. So they were able to... he does Uber Eats, and she got back on with Amazon, and that's where my oldest boy's working right now, which is a good company to work for because they're essential. But my oldest boy's a little worried. He took a week off on his own, and because there was a case at his particular Amazon, they cut down or shut down that section where the person was, which he said made it overflow into the other sections where they couldn't socially distance. So they give them time off without penalty, so he was able to take a week off, and he was going to do that to clear it so that he's able to make sure there's not another case, and he goes back and feels better because we do have my mother who is 72 living here, and he doesn't want to bring it home to his grandma and get everybody sick. He's just scared to death, which I understand, but he's I know what he's doing, why he's doing it, and he will get back to work and all that jazz, so I'm not worried about it. It's just stuff you just don't have to think about until you're thrown into it, So, part of me is hopeful that Friday will be opening and I can open the shop, and part of me isn't because we're going to see another surge in numbers after that because people are going to start coming together. And even if they don't, and vitamin D seems to help it, so a lot of people can be out in the summer and feel fine, but then fall comes and turns back into flu weather again, and so I don't know. I don't live in fear. It's not what the problem is. What I'm living in is in limbo, and I don't know anything. And the dates that I've been given, like I said, which is May 8th, are not concrete. It's all due to this 14-day decrease. My husband just tweeted or texted me a message on top of my video that says I love you bunches. So maybe he senses and knows that I need extra loving today. I don't know. So again, this is not exactly the most upbeat. I feel a little bit Eeyore-ish. But I just wanted you to know that I am still here and I am still watching everyone's pages and videos and things like that. We're on the beginning part of our homestead journey. I've ordered some books from a Joel Slayton. It pops up. Salatin, maybe. He's a homesteader that Rory Feek kind of does his stuff after. So I was just kind of looking at his stuff, and I was going to get a couple of books. Anxiety. But anyway, I'm sorry that I haven't seen everybody. I will be back to my chipper self soon. because when I'm back into a routine and I'm going, I actually get more accomplished, and I can't seem to force myself to do that when I don't know what the next step is. So you guys do the best that you can to stay positive. Try to be grateful, because again, like I just said, I was grateful for my husband and his job, and Duck's still doing good, just being Duck. Needs to be stuck to her mama today. And just be good to one another. Be nice. Be nice. Just try to be nice. Por favor. Have a great day. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video. Even if it's just me being Eeyore, like the video, and hopefully I'll be back to my old self soon. You guys take care.